Doc, you're trying to tell me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
Well, I figured if you're gonna travel back in time, you might as well do it with some style.
Like a boss.
What is up, everybody? This is Kyle from the TF Review, here with a video review that not only fans of LEGO and not only fans of Back to the Future have been waiting for, but nerds in general. They have been waiting for this, and here it is at last. 21103 DeLorean Time Machine LEGO set. I cannot believe I finally said that. It's amazing, and I'm so glad I have this baby. Let's take a look, and I cannot wait to show you guys just how awesome this set really is. So, I'm just going to go over the box real fast, since it is Back to the Future. Of course, it's got the DeLorean, and you got Marty and Doc right there in the corner, as they should be. The Back to the Future logo, and of course, the courthouse's clock tower, the infamous clock tower from the first and second movie. On the back, it shows you all three DeLoreans that you are able to build in this set. Also, it shows you the time display. It also comes with the 2015 license plate and the 1985 license plate, and the flux capacitor. So currently I have the extra pieces, but you might notice this box is pretty thick. It's a lot thicker than the normal boxes you would find in a LEGO set this size. So yeah, it's great quality. Let's open it up and let's build this. DeLorean finally. So here it is at long last, the LEGO DeLorean set with Marty and Doc. Now before I go into talking about the actual DeLorean itself, we're going to take a look at the minifigures. So here we have Marty and Doc, and as you can see, they are very accurate to the film. First, Marty, he has a double head, which means that behind this head is a second head, which is him looking very worried, contemplating about jumping ship or something. And you can go ahead and see him, what he looks like. Yeah, that didn't work out. You can see what he looks like, worried, and he looks very worried. But we're going to keep him in a smirky, cocky Marty McFly mode. Now with Doc, he also comes with an extra printed head, where he also looks insanely worried about something. Also, I really like the nuclear little logo on the back. That is a really nice touch. Now, in terms of accessories, there is not a whole lot of accessories. In fact, the only real accessory for the minifigures is that Marty comes with this gigantically oversized skateboard. Let me get this in focus. This thing is huge. It's like pretty much the exact same size as him. And of course, you can put it in his hand if you want. It's a little loose right now. You can put it in his hand, or if you want, you can, stand him on it. You can do whatever you want. It's kind of an unnecessary accessory, and it's just like a generic LEGO skateboard. But it's there. It's a good extra skateboard. But now, let's take a look at the main course of the LEGO DeLorean set. So here we have the LEGO DeLorean, and my god, does it look beautiful or what? This is seriously probably my favorite LEGO set ever, really. I mean, it's just so iconic, and I wondered for the longest time why they didn't actually build a LEGO set based on Back to the Future, and I assumed it had something to do with licensing rights or, all that business corporate crap. But now we finally have it. Here it is, and it's beautiful. It's just so detailed and so small. But it's the DeLorean. There's not much you can really ask for other than what they gave you. Now this, of course, this version of the DeLorean is the Hero A model, which is the model that was in the very first film, which actually, the original car just got restored and is back at Universal Studios Hollywood, which I think sort of is a nice correlation and makes the timing for this LEGO set even better. The fact that they brought pretty much the original car home, where they shot most of the movies, So I thought that was nice, and I thought the timing of this set could not have been more appropriate. It does talk about that a little bit in the instruction book, which we're going to go over in just a little bit, so stay tuned. But again, it's got so many details, as you can see. If you were to zoom in, you see there you got the flux capacitor inside. Also here you've got, you know, a whole heap load of controls, the steering wheel. It's just so beautifully detailed and beautifully done. Also, the doors, they open up as the original doors do, which is so awesome. I think that's one of my little nerd out moments. They open up in sort of the wing style that they do. Very iconic to the DeLorean and very iconic to the film. And again, that's just another detail they didn't quite have to include, but they did. The doors are a little fragile. They break off pretty easy. So you're going to want to be careful with that if you do get this set, which I highly recommend. On the back, again, you've got the iconic black booster things that shoot out dust. You know, it's just so detailed and so nice. But, of course, no DMC logo in the front. And for some odd reason, they split this piece up. I guess they don't make a three long, short, angled wedge piece. But if you can look past that, it's just a beautiful, beautiful little kit. Now that's it for the Hero A car. I hope you guys got a good look at it. Let's take a look at the model from Back to the Future Part 2 and see how it differs. Okay, so here we have the DeLorean from the second film. Obviously, there's not a lot of changes, but there are changes that have been made. Of course, one of the main ones being the wheels are now in their upright positions, and the rims have been changed from their silver rims to these red rims. A couple more details that have been added, of course, around the back. We now replace the license plate with this new California barcode license plate, which is one of the main changes. And last but not least, the addition of the Mr. Fusion onto the back, the iconic Mr. Fusion, where you can just feed it with trash and it will run at nuclear powers, which was a nice little story element that made time travel a lot easier than it was in the first film. Again, it's really nice. You also included a little stand so that it would appear as if it's floating, which again, something they didn't have to do, but they did it because it's Lego, and Lego is awesome. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the Back to the Future Part 2 DeLorean. Let's take a look at the bizarre Back to the Future 3 Western Steampunk time-traveling train DeLorean. So last but not least is, of course, Back to the Future Part 3's DeLorean. Of course, you can see the obvious major difference being this gigantic heaping metal thing that they put in the front of the car that allows it to convert energy into nuclear energy to give it a reaction to boost it up to 88 miles an hour and, of course, narrowly escape, sending them back from the Old West into 1985, despite the movie being released in 1990. The instructions, for some reason, they show Mr. Fusion being removed. I don't recommend doing that because Mr. Fusion is there in the third film, so I just kept it, and it's more accurate that way. The front, again, a lot of detail. It does sort of kind of turn the DeLorean into just a blotch of pieces, but it's the third DeLorean. What else can you expect? And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, there's not a lot to say. It's just right there. Look at it. Anyway, this set is a lot of fun. It's really a lot of fun. I do highly recommend purchasing it. In fact, I highly recommend purchasing 3 of them. One for each movie, if you can. Now, when all is said and done, you are left with a couple things. And these are the extra pieces that you do get left with. You can see you do get quite a few of them. It all depends on which mode you really want to have the car displayed in. That'll depend on what extra pieces you have, but with the Back to the Future Part 3, this is what you get. Also, I forgot to mention, you do get a brick separator with this set, which is very nice. Now, one thing that a lot of Back to the Future collectors will appreciate is this instruction book. Look how thick this thing is. This is a serious collector's edition book. It is made to last, and it is made for quality. Inside of it, it tells you all about the DeLorean, all about, filming with the DeLorean. Shows you on-set pictures, and it's just a really cool guidebook. And also tells you about the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's Research. And of course, as you know, Michael J. Fox is now making a comeback in TV, where he's sort of embracing his Parkinson's disease in his new character, which is awesome. Kudos to Michael J. Fox. He's an amazing human being. And, you should really support his new show. One thing I did notice, which I thought was kind of funny, me being a theme park nerd and all. Let me find it. Right here it says, an original car used in the filming has been restored and is on display at the studio tour in Universal Studios Hollywood. Now that is, of course, the original car that was used in the famous scene. Are you telling me you built a time machine out of a DeLorean? That was that famous car. Is now on display at Universal Studios, but it's not on the studio tour. It's actually at the NBC Universal Experience, which is located right next door to the Transformers ride. Obviously, I spent a lot of time at the Transformers ride, so I've seen it, and I think it's a beautiful display. I mean, the thing is really, literally enclosed in glass. They want to protect this car, as it should be, and it's just good to have it home at Universal Studios Hollywood, where they shot the actual movie. So yeah, that's just a nice little tidbit. The instruction manual, it's huge. It's glorious. And there it is. I mean, well, there it is. So, again, as I mentioned, buy 3 of these because you're going to want 3 of them. And yeah, I mean, for $34, you get over 400 pieces. That itself is a great deal. You get a high-quality box. You get a Back to the Future's Collector's Edition book. It tells you all about the movies and all about Parkinson's disease and Michael J. Fox and all about these wonderful, well, Parkinson's isn't wonderful, but his foundation is wonderful. And again, it's just an amazing thing to have in your collection, whether you're a LEGO fan or not. So, that does it for this review. I want to thank you guys for checking it out. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at the TF Review. Like me on Facebook at the TF Review. And so long, I'm going to get back into filming videos again. Finally, I got some of the Comic-Con exclusive stuff. Some of it I actually had to part ways with. But I've still got plenty to review, and those are coming up very soon. So without further ado, thank you guys for watching, and have a good night.